If you're over 60, trust me, there are 3 secrets you must never tell anyone, not for trying being cool, but for your peace. Have you ever shared something deeply personal only to notice the look in the other person's eyes, a distance, a silence so heavy that it felt like a gap had formed between you? It could be your children, a close friend, or your spouse. Sometimes what we reveal is too weighty, beyond the boundaries they know how to name. Welcome to Journey After 60. After 60, not every truth should be spoken aloud. Sometimes silence is the best way to protect the peace you've spent a lifetime building. In today's video, we're revealing 3 profound secrets that, after 60, are better kept to yourself. Not because they're shameful, but because they are sacred. The wisest among us are not those who speak everything. They are the ones who understand the power of restraint. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, where every day we explored timeless lessons, life's quiet revelations, and the subtle power of aging with purpose and grace. Now, let's begin with the first secret, a secret less about what you reveal and more about where you place the deepest weight of your emotions. Secret number 1. Don't share your plans before they take root. Life after 60 teaches you a lesson that younger years rarely reveal. Not every thought, not every dream, and not every hope is meant to be voiced immediately. Sharing a plan too soon, whether it's a personal project, a spiritual journey, or even a small dream, can inadvertently drain your own energy. When an idea is fragile, it is vulnerable to outside influence. Skepticism, judgment, or even the quiet, polite indifference that chips away at enthusiasm. I remember a few years ago, I shared with my son my plan to start a small passion project, a community group for seniors to exchange life lessons. I was brimming with excitement, painting the vision in bright colors. I believed it would bring joy, connection, and meaning. But instead of encouragement, he gently asked, "Do you really think anyone will care?" Or, "At this age, is it worth starting something new?" Those questions, innocent as they were, planted a seed of doubt. My excitement faltered. The project stalled for months, caught between desire and the subtle uncertainty his words introduced. Only when I chose to hold the idea quietly, to nurture it privately with patience and belief, did the project begin to grow into something tangible, and eventually it became far more meaningful than I could have imagined. By this stage of life, you understand this truth more deeply. Your mind and heart are fertile ground, and like a seed in rich soil, an idea needs time to root in before it can flourish. Speaking it too soon is like letting the wind steal the warmth from that soil. The promise is there, but it isn't yet ready to blossom. So let silence become your ally. Guard your ideas as if they were tender saplings. Feed them with patience, water them with faith, and shield them from the winds of skepticism. When the moment is right, when your dream has matured and grown resilient, it will bloom on its own. You won't need to explain, convince, or justify. The beauty of it will speak louder than any words could. Have you ever experienced this? Sharing a dream too soon and watching it lose its spark? Or perhaps you've seen the strength that comes from keeping an idea quietly in your heart. Every story holds wisdom for someone else. I'd be grateful if you shared yours in the comments. Just as unspoken dreams often flourish in silence, there are also parts of our inner world, our struggles, our aches, our pains, that deserve a different kind of quiet protection. Secret number 2: your pain and ailments. Growing older often means carrying new aches and slower steps, gentle reminders that the body is changing. Naturally, we long to be understood, so we speak of these things. Yet too often, what begins as a simple sharing quietly grows into a habit until our aches and ailments become the first thing we place on the table in conversation, even with those who only meet us in passing. We may not always realize it, but these conversations can quickly become heavy, not just for us, but for those listening. Of course, you should never feel that you must suffer in silence, but there's a difference between speaking to be heard and inadvertently turning every interaction into an emotional unloading. The people around you, even those who care, might nod politely, smile gently, but quietly they may feel overwhelmed. They carry their own burdens. A child struggling, a parent's declining health, their own unspoken worries. When we continually bring our pain into every room, it doesn't make others feel closer, it makes them cautious when they see us coming. And that's the opposite of what we want in these later years. We all crave warmth, welcome, and ease in our relationships. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius observed, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When our words constantly circle around aches, decline, and discomfort, we inadvertently color the space around us with heaviness, even when our only intention is connection. The more we speak of what hurts, the more we are seen solely through that lens. That's why some truths, especially those about personal suffering, are better kept for the closest and most trusted circles. A spouse who has walked this path beside you, a daughter who genuinely wants to help, a sibling who understands the meaning of silence between symptoms. These are the ones who have chosen to share life with us, not just pass by. They deserve the deeper part of the conversation. But beyond that inner circle, we must be cautious, because while others may listen, they haven't signed up to carry your pain, and they may not know what to do with it once you place it in their hands. This isn't about repressing everything. It's about preserving dignity in how we carry what hurts. You are not defined by your pain, and you don't owe the world an update every time your knee aches or your doctor changes a prescription. We protect our dignity by choosing carefully what we share about our pain, and the same wisdom applies to another area of life that often stirs discomfort: money. Secret number 3. Don't talk too much about money. There comes a point in life when money stops being just numbers on a page and starts becoming a mirror. After 60, it reflects not only what you've earned, but how others perceive you. A home you've lived in for decades, modest savings you've carefully built. Suddenly, these simple things invite questions. A neighbor wonders aloud about your property value. A relative asks if you've written a will. Someone jokes, "You must be sitting on a fortune here." And beneath the surface of these words often lies something else, a quiet reach for access. The hard truth is this: once people believe you have wealth, assets, or even just stability, some will try to benefit from it, whether they mean to or not. It can show up as requests for help, invitations to opportunities, or the sudden presence of people who once kept their distance. Sometimes it comes from strangers. Other times it comes from family. And the pressure can be so subtle that you don't realize what's happening until a relationship begins to strain. This is why discretion isn't merely about privacy. It is a form of protection. What you've built over a lifetime deserves to be guarded. It doesn't need to be broadcast. It doesn't need to be justified. It needs to be respected. And that means carefully choosing who, if anyone, you allow into that part of your life. Your financial situation should only be shared with those who have earned your deepest trust. Your spouse, perhaps, a financially responsible child, or a professional advisor with proven integrity. Even then, not every detail needs to be spoken at once. Holding some things quietly isn't secrecy, it's wisdom. Because you know how easily wealth, whether real or perceived, can cloud even the strongest bonds. You have the right to say, "That's private." You have the right to protect your peace. What you've earned across decades is not just financial, it is emotional security, freedom, and dignity. And in the end, your greatest wealth is not what you own, but your ability to choose what remains yours alone. Keep this video handy so that whenever you feel pressured to share more than you should, you can remember the value of discretion and the power of guarding your peace. Having walked through these 3 profound truths, keeping your plans private until they take root, protecting your pain and ailments, and guarding your financial life, you now hold the keys to living after 60 with dignity, calm, and inner strength. Life at this stage is not about sharing everything. It's about choosing carefully what nourishes your peace and what truly deserves to be spoken. Silence, after all, is not emptiness. It is a form of wisdom. In silence, dreams grow stronger, suffering becomes lighter, and wealth retains its dignity. By holding certain truths close, you are not withdrawing from life. You are honoring the sacred ground of your own soul. The older we get, the more we realize that peace is fragile, and it must be protected like a flame in the wind. One careless word, one misplaced confession, and that flame can flicker. But with discernment, it continues to burn steady, offering warmth and light, not only to ourselves, but also to those we love. The gift of aging is not merely in years lived, but in the clarity to know that restraint is not weakness, it is mastery. To live after 60 with discernment is to live freely, fully, and peacefully. So next time you feel the urge to share one of these truths, pause and ask yourself, am I serving my higher self or feeding a lower impulse? That single moment of reflection may be the difference between a conversation that drains you and a silence that preserves you. If this message resonated with you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone ready to reclaim their peace. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Which of these truths speaks to you most? Live thoughtfully, with discernment, and remember, the strongest truths are often the ones we choose to carry in silence. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.